poised. $78.
In a controlled situation in the camera room, you either want to see some pattern of light, a butterfly light, Rembrandt, in the style of now the big soft box, which has been around for many years. I've used them too, but there's no directional light, and she has a beautiful face. I like her expression. I think the front of her gown could have been straightened out. It's kind of, that's movement in it, and that's it.
That's it. I love the feel of it, but there are some technical problems.
78. Reflecting pond.
Got too much space all the way around it. We've tried to crop them off the bottom, and it doesn't work off the bottom. Take it off the top, it helps some, but there just seems to be some issues with making it work in composition.
I think a long panorama would do it, and I would, the left side with all those other buildings in there bother me. I don't know what can be done about it. The eating area, the picnic area, I'm assuming on the right side is a deck with some green umbrellas. They're a different tonality in the roof of the building. I would try to bring those closer together. That would be less distracting.
Okay.
76. American Dream.
I think what I'd like to see on this is a tight square crop on it. You've got a family of four that are hugging each other, that are close, that are have that impact of relationship. A tight square crop on that would help that. The technical issues is lighting. Is the biggest thing for me.
Well, another thing is the young man that's in there. I'm sure there's other images. Swap that eye out so you can open the eye.
Okay, 76. Lift.
I like the concept of this image. You've got so many hot spots in that background that need to be toned down. A good vignette will probably work wonders for you too. And I'm not sure that I like that large white map surrounding it.
Yeah,
but it is a cute concept.
What is fun to sit here and watch the judge's reaction to all of this, because these are the kinds of things that work if you work on them some, because we're surprised by the look of this and what the child is doing. That there's a lot of things involved in it, like Stephanie's already said.
And I'd like to look at it flipped also, just to see what it would look like.
77. Hypnotic Journey.
And I like this, but I would take about 2 inches off the right side and make it more of a pano print. And you've got some light area up on the top. And Tom is saying maybe even make it off the left and right, but I need the leading lines coming up from. But the bottom of the exposure on the bricks is not equal to in any way that of the bottom to the top. So that needs to be balanced up. I like their body language.
So do I. I like the pose. I like everything else that Paul had said. And I think a vertical crop in the center would possibly work, but the bricks would have to be addressed.
79, Nico's Day.
First of all, to make anybody look good, you don't want right angles. And so the very first thing I see is a right angle of her arm. And it's lighter in the background all the way through. Got a lot of distracting lines. It isn't flattering to her. I would do some liquify around the top of the chest and down below. There's a lot of distractions that are equal to all the way down through that. It's difficult to look at.
And I think higher camera angle, just 6 inches on the camera, I think would help you a lot. In post-production, the poster on the left side on the back, the poster on the right side on the back, and you have to deal with what was given to you by the customer. Her colors that she chose are favorite for her, but they're almost the opposite on the spectrum of the tonality in the background. They're very cold, background is very warm, so you have that issue with the fighting psychologically. I love the fact that you found the light on the right side and it's coming in at a good angle to do some shade.
We have problems too with a little bit of muddiness in the skin tone.
Mm-hmm.
75, Mr. GQ.
Strong portrait of a young man. I actually like this one, and his hand is correct. He's got a nice masculine pose to his head. It's cropped about right. I would like to see a little less room on the top. Sometimes I like to actually take off the top, but that's really an individual person, and Tom's working on some cropping parts for that. We just hit the mic. So it could be cropped in on the left side, as Tom's indicating to me here, but I like it.
I like the image. I think you did a very good job. I'm sure they absolutely loved it, and with just, those little things, I think they will merit for you.
80, Perfect Penny. $76.
I think she's a really, really cute little girl, but to me, the lighting direction's not there. You're real dark on that lower right corner, and then you're bright on the background back there in that orange right beside her head. All of that needs to be toned down, but you still don't have a real defined direction of light. You don't have any roundness to this.
It's pretty much a off-camera look at Halloween. In competition, you have to go beyond that. You've got looking at her, you've got two spectacular highlights. All those things deal with what we're trying to judge.
Together.
I personally like this image, but there's some things that really bother me. One of them is the two subjects in the middle. You place them almost in the center rather than moving to left or right and creating a specular or an intersection of the thirds, and then all of a sudden I would do some cloning and either get rid of the building on the home on the right, so I feel that it's out away from everywhere, or position myself where I'd see that building more.
I agree.
77. Snow Diva.
I really like this image. I like the texture on it, the technique that they've used. It has impact.
Her body language is good. Fingers are good. I would have liked to have seen more tunneling behind her as it goes down the horizon line, where it's not just a big white blob there, that it kind of vignettes. You would like if you're walking down a path, it's slope. It gets right to the end of that. But this is the kind of work that I really enjoy this. Somewhat, the tree on the upper right, if you're keeping it in tone with all of this, it needs to be either cropped out or do some cloning and bring some snow back up into that so your eyes don't draw out to the right.
If this was my image, what I would do to salvage what is in front of me is, what bothers me as a judge and as an artist is from her shoulders up, it looks like she's cut out. If this is a single image, then you just need to soften that hair down a little bit. If it is a composite, then again, soften that down a little bit. Her elbow that is showing, that arm needs to be bent, that wrist needs to be bent, and that to salvage this image, you can do that in post-production. So there are a couple of little issues on that, but otherwise, everything else has been addressed.
80. The Musician. $79.
The initial impact is there. I like, but once you get in there, then we start nitpicking and pulling things apart. The neon guitars, both of them need to be dropped down. I'm going to call them fairy lights, for lack of another explanation. On the left side, need to be dropped down. The sign, the Highway 49 needs to be dropped down. And then there's something right directly behind his head. I can't tell what it is, but it's a vertical line. It's like a post or something, flagpole. So that needs to be addressed. And I would like to see a little more detail in the garment that he's wearing, whether it's a jacket or a shirt. Those highlights in there can be popped up a little bit to give a little more definition to them. But the face is priceless.
Yeah, character studies are very strong in competition. So what Tom has addressed are all those hot spots. As he said a long time ago in this competition, turn the print upside down, and those things will just start popping out at you. You'll see them.
The Diamond. $76.
What I'm having some issues with is the movement of the camera, the double exposures per se of some of the lights and stuff in the background, the highlights that are going in from in the sky itself. Some of the just some hazing, just all some camera movements. The left side and right side where the construction is going on, that all needs to be dropped down a good probably 25% to bring the focus back in on the roadway. Okay.